Imagine waking up one day and realizing that your SNAP benefits never arrived. Now, just understand that this is going to become a reality. You don't have to imagine this on November 1st, because according to multiple reports, the U.S. government is telling states to hold off on sending payments. So SNAP benefits could be suspended starting November 1st. Let that sink in. Millions, to the tune of 42 million Americans, are going to lose their benefits in just 2 weeks. Look at this. It says right here, a government shutdown. The Senate voted on a GOP funding bill and it failed for the 10th time. That just happened today. What you need, if you are a SNAP beneficiary or you know somebody that is, you need the United States government to fully open up. Because according to reports, the United States government doesn't have the ability to go and use other funds and reappropriate this to SNAP benefits. It needs Congress to vote on it, which means millions of Americans are about to starve. Let's get right down to this, because this is a huge concern that millions of people are wondering what is going to happen. I told you this a couple of weeks ago. On day one of the government shutdown, I said SNAP benefits is fully funded through October. And even though SNAP is a mandatory program, the problem is that money has to be appropriated for the government to use it for SNAP. Well, it hasn't done that yet. That's the reason why. So, October payments are still good. But come November, we could start to see partial SNAP payments, or, and this is a huge concern, all payments will be suspended. Just look at this. This is an article I was reading just today. It says, Minnesota to stop processing SNAP benefits amid a federal government shutdown. It says right here, the Minnesota Department of Children, Youth, and Family says they're being forced to stop processing supplemental nutrition assistance program benefits or food stamp applications starting Wednesday because of the government shutdown. That Wednesday was yesterday. They've stopped food stamp applications yesterday because of the shutdown. Well, it goes even further than that. Look at this. It says, federal government orders Texas to delay November SNAP benefits amid the shutdown. Look at this. It says, millions of Texans who rely on SNAP benefits could face delays next month after the federal government instructed states to hold off on sending November payments. And they're saying because right now the USDA has a money problem. They have insufficient funds to fund everybody. That's 42 million Americans. They cannot fund every single person's account. As a result, they could either pretty much give you a reduced payment, reduced benefit, and make it up in a future month, or, and this is the concern, they will just suspend everybody's payments and you'll get it in, again, maybe December, potentially in January or February, whenever the United States government decides to open up. Yeah, that's the concern. I want to show you a few things though. Look at this. It says warning over SNAP benefit delays as shutdown drags on. The U.S. Senate has voted 10 times as of today. Okay? 10 times. And they have yet to be able to open up the government. Okay? Look at this. It says right here. This is as of day 16, which is today. The Senate failed to advance a Republican bill to extend government funding and to end the shutdown for a 10th time on Thursday. It says the vote was 51 to 45, but they need 60 votes in order to pass this. The Senate also voted on a long-term appropriations bill to fund the Pentagon. Well, that failed to reach the 60 vote. Didn't happen. And that's something that the Senate Majority Leader John Thune wanted to get done, because this would ensure that U.S. military actually receives payments on November 1st. And if you didn't get a chance to watch my video that I did earlier on today, I talked about how the federal government could end this shutdown. We could see this end and everything go away, but it might push all the way up until November 1st as a result of two things. One, the Pentagon needs money to pay our military personnel. The next payment comes on November 1st. So that's a Republican priority. Well, what's a Democratic priority? To ensure that people on SNAP receive their full benefit amount. That also is coming November 1st. So we'll see what happens there. I do want to read something else to you though. Right now there's a lot of people questioning what's going to happen, who's going to receive this benefit, who may not receive any at all. But based off the statements that we've been getting from White House officials, the Trump administration would feel somewhat uneasy if only certain people got a full benefit amount. And so here are the different options that they're discussing, I guess, at this time. One is they give SNAP doesn't have as much money as they need to send out to 42 million people. They are going to have a insufficient funding problem. They do have some money. So the question is, do we send out let's say it's 20% of our funds. Do we send that out to the 20% of the individuals, the households, and we give them 100% of their benefit amount? Or do we take the full amount that we're getting and we give that out to 42 million people? Okay, just divide it amongst everybody. So you go from certain people receiving 100% of a benefit and then the other portion of them receiving nothing, to every single person receives a certain percentage of their benefit amount based off whatever's in the coffers at the time. The other one, and again, this is the concern, is that we may see SNAP benefits get completely suspended for every single person, meaning 42 million households do not receive a single dollar in SNAP benefits. That's the concern. So which direction we go, honestly, I don't know. But what I can tell you is that there's a lot of discussions happening right now. Some people are very optimistic that the federal government is going to open before November 1st. If this is the case, you don't have to worry about your SNAP benefits getting cut. But if it's still shut down come November 1st, you may not receive a single dollar in November. You may have to wait until December, if not even longer. Here's the other problem. Based off what we're hearing, is if the federal government is still shut down on November 1st, and let's say it goes until November 15th or 16th, a month from now, which means that's going to be 40 some days in. If this happens, according to a report that I was reading just this morning, it is saying that the federal government wouldn't actually send SNAP benefits in November. It wouldn't send you the benefits midway through the month. It would actually wait until December and send you a double payment. So here's my question I want to ask you. If you are currently receiving SNAP benefits, do you have enough in your account in order to cover all of November, okay, without receiving any more money? That's the big question. And again, I brought this up 2 weeks ago and I said that the federal government is shutting down. You need to ensure that you are using your money wisely because your payments may stop. And that's exactly what's happening right now. Here's the other thing. And this is somewhat concerning, but this is what a lot of people have been warning of, is that the Trump administration asked several states, well actually every single state, to send in food stamp recipient information. Look at this right here. It says at least 27 states turned over sensitive data about food stamp recipients to the USDA. It says since late July, most Democratic-led states have refused to give in to an unprecedented demand from the Trump administration to turn over personal data or personal information on federal food assistance recipients going back to 2020, including their names, dates of birth, home addresses, social security numbers, and benefit amounts. It says, Yet most states with a Republican governor have already complied. What's happening right here is the federal government, specifically the Trump administration, wants to ensure that SNAP isn't, just being taken away by waste, fraud, and abuse. That's what they're saying this is for. To ensure that those that are receiving the benefits are not wasting the money, those that are receiving the benefits are not fraudulently getting the money, and we are not abusing the system. That's what we're hearing. So, we'll see what's going to happen over the next several days to several weeks, but just understand, right now the federal government is shut down, and states are being told not to send any money through SNAP. But the problem is, how many people are going to be able to survive this? According to reports, millions of households will starve in November. So, do yourself a favor, make sure you are rationing your money right now so that your benefits can actually go a little bit longer. But as we get more information on this, I promise I'll bring you all the latest news and updates as soon as we get it. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.